Hi, I'm Shelley, and well, in my spare time I like to write things. Yep, I know YouTube is full of sort of auto-tuned skateboarding Korean cats, but well, I'm not going to do that. Right, so, well, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm writing a novel, and well, I've decided instead of sort of uploading the whole novel into, upload the whole novel onto sort of Tumblr, I'm going to read you this introduction to the novel, this extract, and then, if you've got any ideas about where it should go from there, then feel free to stick them up on put those comments up on underneath my video. Would be good, and even sort of video comments would be good as well. Just sort of any feedback, or like it, dislike it, it's all good. Well, don't dislike it too much. But be honest, or not. Anyway, right. So this novel, it's about it's about this guy. I've decided to call him Lucien Law, so it sounds sort of mysterious, slightly arty, and it's about this guy. We've all had those sort of nights out where you've kind of woken up in the morning and gone sort of looked into the mirror and gone what the bleeping hell happened there, and he's trying to remember that night. He's looking into the mirror, and these are his thoughts. This is what's sort of going on around him, and yeah, okay. So this is part one. This is just the short introduction to the short story Lucien Law. Lucy glared into the mirror for what seemed like an eternity, hoping to find some solace in the stark, almost clinical objectivity of its reflection. The fractured recollections of that night, the smouldering glow of neon, the beautiful people, the esoteric sanctity of sin and sambuca, they all seem to tumble into this single solid sheet of highly polished glass set in common pine. Dissecting the contours of his face, every trace a line, every trace line a map to his own destruction, his own sapphire eyes encased in rings of ochre, for the black of night had threaded itself around them and refused to be banished except for, maybe, the bittersweet cloy of coffee. He leapt from his desk chair, plastic, leather, wheels that travelled little, whilst his mind ran a marathon of words. This pauper's throne was practical, with just the right level of comfort to support his lumber yet stop him from slumbering. This was important for a young man who spent his evenings as a willing servant to the beckoning of the arts, but a slave to coursework. Dragging on his black denim jeans, a faded red t-shirt, that averagely ostentatious statement it had once emblazoned had long since worn away to simple, chalky, white dust. He undid the rusty brass latch on the beige slide door and clawed it open cautiously. Excuse me. The ailing light of urban winter sun seemed unusually bright, sliding down the stairs like a sweat-greased spring. The rough tan carpet was the only thing keeping him from slipping. He sluggishly glanced to his older sister, Izzy, as vibrant in personality as her dyed auburn hair, but pensively perching her hip on the granite worktop. Want a coffee, Lucien? This simple question suddenly seems so difficult to respond to. Every word seemed to slink to the back of his throat. He had to drag out every subtle simile. Yeah, he murmured. Right, back to the real world. And you're back. So, where should it go from here, you know? Where should it go from here? That is the question of the day. You know, what words should, what should be said next by either character? You know, for example, and what should the characters really look like? What do they look like to you? Because I've left it that, Lucien here, Lucy, as he calls himself, is, all we know, he has sapphire blue eyes, apparently, and, Izzy has dyed auburn hair. What about the rest of it? I really want to I want you, in your mind's eye, just think, flesh the characters out, and, get back to me if you want. And, what does it all look like to you? What does the house look like to you, other than the tan carpet? What sort of room do you think Lucien would have, other than that beige door? What could be on his walls? What could the sister be wearing? Anything, just anything. Parents, does he have parents? Maybe they've died. Maybe he's just living with his sister. How I've said young man, but how old do you think he is? How young is young? And anything else, really. And even if you want to even send a sketch of the characters, and then I think what I'll do is I'll sketch some characters and then compare them with what you thought, and be interesting to see what you think. That's what I want. What you think out there. Okay, thank you.